In every second, thousands of packages are ordered, thousands of payments are processed, thousands of deliveries are prepared. This isn't a country. This isn't a government. This is Amazon, a company that touches how you shop, how businesses run, how the internet itself works. But Amazon isn't just an online store. It's a machine, a financial system, a global infrastructure. Today, we go inside Amazon to understand how the world's biggest company really works and how it makes its money. To break down exactly how Amazon earns money from sellers, not just customers, why its retail business runs on razor-thin margins, how Amazon Web Services quietly funds the entire empire, and how advertising became one of Amazon's fastest-growing profit machines. A company so deeply woven into daily life that most people no longer notice it. A company that doesn't just sell products, but quietly controls how products move, how data flows, and how money circulates across the globe. To understand Amazon's finances, you have to stop thinking of it as a store and start thinking of it as a toll booth, a platform that gets paid whenever commerce, data, or attention moves through it. Amazon was founded in 1994 by Jeff Bezos, at a time when the internet itself was still an experiment. Bezos wasn't interested in books because he loved literature. He chose books because they were easy to ship, had massive catalogs, and could be standardized digitally. But books were never the goal. The goal was scale. From the beginning, Amazon was designed to grow endlessly. Bezos famously said Amazon should be the everything store. But even that phrase undersells the ambition. Amazon didn't just want to sell everything. It wanted to build the system through which everything would be sold. For years, Amazon reinvested nearly all its revenue back into growth. While other companies focused on profit, Amazon focused on infrastructure, warehouses, software, distribution, customer data. This made Amazon look weak on paper. Investors questioned its strategy. Critics mocked its thin margins. But behind the scenes, something much larger was forming. Today, Amazon is not a single business. It is a collection of powerful systems stacked on top of each other. At the surface, it looks like retail. Under that, it's a marketplace. Below that, logistics. Below that, cloud computing. And beneath everything, data. Each layer strengthens the others. Let's start with the marketplace. When people shop on Amazon, they often assume Amazon owns and sells everything. In reality, Amazon acts more like a digital landlord. It rents out space to millions of sellers across the world. Small businesses, large brands, manufacturers, resellers. Amazon provides access to customers, sellers provide products, and Amazon takes a fee from nearly every step of the process. There are referral fees when a product sells, storage fees for keeping items in warehouses, fulfillment fees for packing and shipping, advertising fees to gain visibility. Amazon earns money whether the seller succeeds or fails. The risk sits with the seller. The platform always wins. This model allows Amazon to expand infinitely. It doesn't need to predict which products will succeed. The market decides. Amazon simply collects the toll. But a marketplace is only valuable if it's fast, and this is where Amazon changed the game. Traditional retail relies on third-party logistics, shipping companies, postal services, external warehouses. Amazon rejected that dependence early on. Instead, it built its own logistics empire. Massive fulfillment centers appeared across continents. Inside them, robots carry shelves to workers instead of workers walking miles every day. Computer vision tracks inventory down to individual units. Algorithms predict demand before customers even order. Amazon built its own delivery fleet, vans, drivers, planes, even last-mile delivery partners who work exclusively for Amazon. This system costs tens of billions of dollars annually, but it buys Amazon something priceless: speed. Speed creates trust. Trust creates habit. Habit creates dependency. When customers receive products faster than they expect, they stop questioning the platform. Amazon becomes the default, not because it's always cheaper, but because it's easier. Convenience is Amazon's real product. And nothing reinforces that convenience more than Amazon Prime. Prime is often marketed as a bundle: free shipping, movies, music, deals. But Prime isn't a service, it's a psychological contract. Once customers pay for Prime, they feel compelled to use Amazon more. Every purchase feels cheaper because shipping is free. Price comparisons fade. Loyalty increases. Prime members spend dramatically more than non-members, and they do it passively. Prime turns occasional shoppers into habitual ones. It also creates predictable recurring revenue, millions of users paying upfront every year. That stability allows Amazon to plan long-term investments with confidence. But even Prime is not Amazon's most important business. That title belongs to something most customers never see: Amazon Web Services. AWS began as an internal solution. Amazon needed computing power to handle its own traffic. Instead of building it only for internal use, Amazon realized it could sell that capacity to others. That decision changed everything. AWS allows companies to rent servers instead of owning them. Businesses can scale instantly. Startups can compete with giants. Governments can outsource infrastructure. AWS powers streaming services, financial systems, AI models, and countless applications. While Amazon's retail business runs on thin margins, AWS operates with much higher profitability. In many years, AWS has generated the majority of Amazon's operating income. In effect, Amazon's cloud business subsidizes its retail dominance. Amazon can afford to keep prices low and reinvest aggressively because AWS prints cash. This creates a powerful feedback loop. Retail generates data. Data improves AWS. AWS funds retail expansion, and the cycle continues. Then there's advertising. Amazon knows not just what people look at, but what they actually buy. That makes its advertising incredibly valuable. When a brand advertises on Amazon, it's not guessing. It's targeting users at the exact moment of intent. Sponsored products appear where buyers are most likely to click. Brands pay for visibility, and because the conversion rates are high, ad spending continues to grow. Advertising is quiet, invisible to many users, but it is one of Amazon's fastest-growing, highest-margin businesses. Amazon doesn't need to sell ads aggressively. The platform itself does the selling. Of course, building an empire like this is not without consequences. Amazon employs over 1 million people worldwide. Managing labor at that scale is complex and controversial. Warehouse conditions, productivity expectations, and automation have drawn criticism. Regulators across the world question Amazon's market power. Antitrust investigations examine whether Amazon favors its own products, squeezes sellers, or blocks competition. Competition itself is relentless: retail rivals, cloud rivals, media rivals, governments. And yet Amazon keeps investing. Billions into artificial intelligence, billions into robotics, billions into data centers. Not for today, for decades ahead. Amazon's vision is not limited to selling products. It wants to predict needs, automate decisions, remove friction so completely that commerce becomes invisible. A future where ordering feels less like an action and more like an inevitability. Amazon didn't win by being the cheapest. It didn't win by being the nicest. It won by building systems so deeply integrated that opting out feels like swimming against the current. This is not a company. This is infrastructure. And once infrastructure is built, the world tends to rely on it. This is how Amazon works. This is how it makes its money. and the story is far from over.